Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Lifestyle and low carbs, usually 20 or under, like today. I'm excited. It suits me just fine, thank you very much. I'm feeling the first chill of fall. Here we go. Here we go, but the good news is crock pots, Instapots. Oh boy, I love those sort of meals. I love the broth with the fat that it's been cooking in. So much fun. But I digress. No, I can't digress. I never even brought it up yet. Sometimes a visual really helps me in thinking about what my keto food plan is. And I thought I would present it to you guys and try it on for size and see how it works for you. You know, I often talk about, just like Felicia Nurse did in her most recent one about the tracking and things like that. And I often talk about those sort of things being the basics of my food plan. And it doesn't really matter what the item is as much as the fact that I stick with my basic tool set and use it every day just to keep everything accountable and keep me responsible and keep everything going with the way that it worked before. You know, if you have a recipe for what works for your success, why do you want to start messing around with it? But sometimes we forget that the success came from keeping all these things in place. So here's my visual for you when you go to think of like what it is that you do for you. Think of a hot air balloon, and it's tethered, it's tied on the ground to all of these stakes. And so you've got all these different, ropes holding the hot air balloon before they send it off. Well, each one of those ropes is something that I do with my food plan. And one by one, if you lift off those ropes, it's going to go up into the air. And the air to me is like, not a very safe place, just kind of floating around. And sure, it's pretty, but I like my hot air balloon on the ground, tethered, thank you very much. And the tethering comes from me doing the things like weighing, measuring, tracking, shopping for the foods, having them here in the house. So there's just no confusion. I can't get confused or blame or justify why I'm doing something that's not going to be good for me because I wasn't prepared or planned or it wasn't tracked. And so being disciplined and structured for me is having that hot air balloon with each rope being something that I do to help me, to keep me grounded. My hot air balloon keeps my keto plan grounded. So I'm safe and secure in knowing that I just can't, I can't let a couple of those ropes go free and think that my keto plan is going to be happily sitting there like it was with maybe 6 ropes. Instead, I'm down to maybe 4 or 3. It's just not safe for me. So that's kind of what I think of it. And so, how many ropes do you have keeping your hot air balloon grounded for you so you can come to depend on yourself and the bit of time that you spend doing it? And it really is just a bit of time. It really is. I think that a lot of people find in maybe their morning routine or something, there's just not enough time to do it. My idea is to kind of do that as part of your nighttime routine. Kind of like make sure the bones for your next day's food are in place. I do that for a whole month. So pretty soon I'll be starting to put in October's, and what I put in is my BPC. I have that every day. I put in my 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream because I have those 2 other cups of coffee every day. I put in my potassium because I have it every day. Things like that. And then I can quickly, add in on my chronometer. It'll pull up things that aren't recipes. it'll pull up things like, one of the first things that comes up is asparagus, and then my lettuce, and then my olive oil that I always have in my salad, and then I'll add in, red cabbage comes up. I always add radicchio, it doesn't come up. Avocado is in there, so I can just press and put in the grams. And when I'm weighing and measuring out my salad just a little bit later, when I leave the computer, if the avocado, say, is 30 grams instead of 25, then I'll make the adjustments. And it's just kind of done, and it's there. And so is the salad, physically made by me at like 6 in the morning, covered with the saran wrap thing. It's that shop tight, wrap tight, whatever it is. It's the one I like. And, in the fridge, there it is. And I can just pull it out. I like my salads room temperature. So I'll pull it out around 1. So when I have it at 3, it's reached room temperature. And I'm a happy camper. It's done. And so I know, like when I had a day like I had yesterday, that I'm taken out of the house until 2 in the afternoon, that salad was made at 6 in the morning. It's still there. And that when I go to make my dinner, there's not a whole lot of prep. Oftentimes, the meats are reheated in the form of like leftovers or halfway prepped, like the swordfish that we had the other night, the barbecue ribs that we had last night, things like that, or leftover steak. Sometimes like a pork roast is there, so pot roast. So those things are pretty easy. It's more like a heat and eat instead of a start from scratch. I would not start from scratch at 1 in the afternoon. I just know my energy level. I'm starting more at 6 a.m. putting something in a crock pot or in the oven under, cooking it low and slow. Things like that. So I'm off to do some grocery shopping, and I haven't looked at the flyers yet. Usually I do that on Thursday, but I lost my Thursday yesterday for a matter that took me out of the home. So I will go to my usual haunts, which would be Whole Foods, Stop and Shop, and Shaw's, and see what they got cooking. Tomorrow I go to BJ's, the box store, for the porterhouse steaks, and usually Monday morning after my shift is over at the police department, I go to Market Basket. So I have my little routine, and I will follow it, and I know the things that are only available at each store, so I will head for them, see what's on sale. I wanted to get some organic decaf ground coffee, and maybe some more of the organic coffee. Jim's is the brand that I got from Whole Foods, and I'm loving it. So I like those sort of things. So that's it from here. Just think of that hot air balloon. Think of what each thing is. For me, it's weighing, measuring, prepping, having in the house, shopping, tracking, all those things. They hold my keto balloon down and firmly. And, the keto program is a sight to behold, just like a hot air balloon. And that's how I think of that. And it's like, doesn't take too much for me to do all of the things. Every tool that I use, it doesn't take too long to put in the food. When I go shopping, I'll always have eggs, I'll always have cheese here, I'll always have the pound of bacon that's cooked and put in a glass container. So I'm always pretty safe. The salad fixins I've got in my vegetable bin. So I can always pull at any time and pull it together, even if there was no other, if I didn't I got plenty of meat in the fridge, I can take in the freezer, I can take it out and start defrosting it in the morning. So I'm pretty much covered. I don't find myself lacking with anything. And I do have the beauty of being able to shop all those stores because I work overnight. So I can go out like I am this morning and take care of those things, and I like that. So, thanks so much for listening. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with her little hot air balloon with 6 ropes tying it down. That's my keto program, and I'm sticking to it, and it's under 20. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.